He built the rockets that redefined space travel, the cars that transformed the auto industry, the satellites that stitched the world together. And for years, Elon Musk did it all while riding shotgun with the U.S. government backed by billions. In federal contracts, exclusive access, and a front-row seat at the table where national strategy was made. But now, that alliance is unraveling. And fast out at first, it was whispers. A few quiet exits. Delayed meetings. No press releases. Just absences in all the places where Musk's companies used to lead. But if you looked closely, the picture forming wasn't just unexpected. It was alarming, because Musk wasn't retreating. He was repositioning, and what emerged wasn't the collapse of a partnership. It was the rise of something else entirely. A global private infrastructure network growing beyond America's grasp and beyond its jurisdiction. This story isn't about what Elon Musk left behind. It's about what he's building and where it started with a warning. On June 5, 2025, Elon Musk took to X, formerly Twitter, and accused President Trump of betrayal. His post was sharp, final. The U.S. has broken its word. We will be cutting all ties with the federal government. Just 3 days earlier, Tesla stock had plunged over 14%, erasing more than $150 billion in value. But Musk didn't panic. This wasn't a meltdown. It was a maneuver. A shift years in the making. Behind the scenes, Tesla had already begun exiting UC-funded EV programs. No more coordination with the Department of Energy. No more meetings with compliance officers. No more waiting on Washington. Simultaneously, SpaceX started pulling back from military contracts. Satellite briefings were canceled. Starlink stopped submitting for defense approvals. And Pentagon insiders were left asking, "Where's Elon?" Then came May 14th. Musk appeared before Congress and made his position unambiguous. If innovation is punished in the U.S., I will take innovation to countries that still believe in it. It wasn't a threat. It was a declaration of independence. What followed was swift and systematic. Federal agencies found themselves locked out not just from Musk's platforms, but from infrastructure they helped fund. Tesla's charging network? Frozen. SpaceX launch coordination? Delayed. Starlink's military coverage? No longer guaranteed. And while Washington scrambled for answers, Musk was already rebuilding outside the U.S., in places where policy couldn't pull the plug. In early 2025, the U.S. military submitted a request to override Starlink access in a high-risk operation. SpaceX said no, quietly but firmly. Weeks later, 3 major defense satellite contracts worth over $4.20 billion were pulled from SpaceX and handed to legacy contractors like Boeing and Raytheon. But Musk didn't fight it. He pivoted. The doors that closed in Washington began opening elsewhere. India fast-tracked Starlink's rollout, declaring it a matter of national infrastructure, despite pressure from the U.S. State Department. By June, pilot coverage lit up 5 Indian states, with full deployment planned by year's end. In Brazil, Starlink became the backbone of a $1.1 billion broadband initiative connecting rural schools and hospitals. In South Africa, parliamentary hearings confirmed Starlink as the frontrunner to overhaul emergency networks. These weren't commercial partnerships. They were national infrastructure projects, built with Starlink at the center, and no American oversight. Meanwhile, a leaked Russian procurement document made quiet reference to non-state LEO providers with military-grade capabilities. Analysts pointed to one likely candidate, Starlink. As one RAND researcher put it, Starlink isn't leaving the defense sector. It's just changing flags. While Musk expanded his satellite empire, Tesla was executing a parallel strategy. In Brazil, Tesla inked a $2.3 billion deal for nationwide EV infrastructure charging stations, research labs, grid integration all outside U.S. regulatory reach. The Brazilian government confirmed no American coordination, no oversight. Tesla also began rerouting supply chains through Malaysia and South Africa, cutting reliance on U.S. ports and avoiding tariffs sparked by Trump's expanded trade war. According to Bloomberg, Tesla reduced its U.S. exposure by 38% in a single quarter. One Tesla exec described the plan bluntly: "It's a firewall, not against hackers, but against American policy whiplash." And then came China. In May 2025, regulators in Guangdong approved Tesla's Autobidder platform for deployment in state-linked energy systems. Originally designed to balance EV fleets and storage batteries, the software now helps manage energy flow in one of China's most industrialized zones. There were no logos, no public statements, just back-end code running quietly where it matters. Most Autobidder wasn't flagged. It wasn't registered as military tech. It entered as a commercial energy optimization tool slipping through U.S. export control laws, and that's what made it so dangerous, because Autobidder wasn't just software. It was a Trojan horse developed in the U.S., now operational inside China's critical infrastructure. And there was no off switch. The Treasury Department responded with a formal review, targeting both Autobidder and Tesla's AI energy tools. Now active in China, Brazil, and South Africa. At stake whether Musk's platforms violated dual-use export laws under the 2025 Post-Chip Act. There were no immediate sanctions. But the political response was telling. Tesla was removed from the Federal EV Forum. XAI, Musk's AI venture, lost its seat at the National AI Strategy Group. The White House called it a matter of alignment. Musk responded on X: "If DC wants control, it can build its own infrastructure." It wasn't just defiance. It was dismissal. And while Washington reacted, Musk kept building. In May 2025, China greenlit a massive expansion of Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory, including battery production, software deployment, and direct access to state energy data. At the same time, Tesla was granted localized data exemptions in provinces where even Chinese firms like BYD faced restrictions. China didn't view Musk as a threat. They treated him like infrastructure essential, but manageable. This strategy wasn't unique to China. In Brazil, Starlink is now embedded in national education. In India, Tesla is negotiating energy integration at the state level. In the UAE, XAI is partnering with data centers to train models across the Gulf. These aren't just partnerships. They're long-term positions inside the core systems of nations that operate beyond U.S. influence. By mid-2025, Elon Musk was no longer a U.S. contractor. He was a global infrastructure provider answering to no single government, yet powering many. Starlink now supports state networks in 3 BRICS nations. Tesla's AI is embedded in China's energy grid. Xi is scaling intelligence tools on foreign soil. These systems don't fly U.S. flags. They don't obey U.S. policy. And they aren't going away. One analyst at the European Council on Foreign Relations put it like this: Musk has built a parallel operating system for the 21st century, faster, cheaper, and unbound by state control. And here's the part that should unsettle you. This didn't happen through sabotage. It wasn't rebellion. It was design. Musk didn't storm out of the halls of power. He just stopped showing up. And while Washington looked the other way, he built something it can no longer unplug. So now we're left with a question. Did the U.S. just lose the one technologist it couldn't afford to lose? Or has Elon Musk written the blueprint for a new kind of power? One that doesn't need permission. One that answers to no one. And one that the rest of the world is already rushing to adopt? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if You want to keep tracking the global power shift. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story is just getting started.